but they do not.
Long offseason, long night for Mike Budenholzer, the Bucks head coach. Max Strus, why? Why do you foul here?
Again, boneheaded decision after boneheaded decision by the Bucks to blow this game at home and to see their season end. No reason at all on that closeout so far away from three.
So Strus makes 2 of 3 free throws. The Heat up by 4. Then Giannis.
Timeout.
Come on, what are we doing now?
Timeout.
Down 2, but you have 3 of the Bucks stars on the floor, and none of them take the shot. It is Grayson Allen. That's your season, and that's the difference in this? My goodness. Giannis staying home after the 1 seed goes down.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Oh, my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get a promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure? That's what you're telling me? No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no?
I mean, I don't think so, no.
Okay, exactly. So why you ask me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you're not.
That is a clip that I'm going to show my 11-year-old son and my 9-year-old son because of the perspective there. Because you cannot look at this as a failure, but they will in Milwaukee, Alan. And Vince Carter joining us. So, Vince, your thoughts? How would you consider this? Is this a failure for Giannis and the Bucks, considering they're the 1 seed and they do not advance to the second round?
Kev, I see frustration all over Giannis's face because it's the expectations that they fell short of. Failure, I don't know. I mean, of course, they felt that they were good enough. I felt that they were good enough to make it all the way to the finals. I had the Boston Celtics coming out at the beginning of the year, and I thought the Milwaukee Bucks were playing the best basketball coming into the playoffs. And obviously, little knick-knack injuries get a hold of you, but everyone's injured, and Giannis is still able to play. Middleton is healthy. Drew Holiday was playing great. They still were very capable of winning. But, man, I tell you what, the will to win from Jimmy Butler and his cast. I mean, because we said, all right, Jimmy Butler's getting it done. Who else will join them? So, yeah, I mean, I think it's disappointing and frustrating. And, I think internally they feel like it's a failure because they expected to at least be in the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, and the next question is not just so much about today, it's what you're going to do down the road. When you look at Middleton, he's going to be a free agent. Brook Lopez, a free agent. Giannis in that extension, that's coming up here. How much of a devastating loss is this when you look at the franchise overall down the road, Alan?
This is going to be something that you start thinking about what kind of changes do you make here. And it's not just personnel. The failure thing that Giannis talks about has to do with players and individuals, and we completely agree on that part. But there was a failure in this playoff series. One is just simply to recognize that the Miami Heat had one guy that had just had it going. I mean, he went into God mode, and you couldn't stop him with one of the best defenses in the league. So this falls to me on Mike Budenholzer.
Yep.
And what do they do from here with him going forward? Yes, he won them a championship, but you could say Giannis was otherworldly in that finals. So do they make changes on that front, especially with a guy like Nick Nurse available?
We will keep that in mind. Let's go back to the Jimmy Butler conversation, okay? Because to me, playoff Jimmy plays a different role here. You know, the idea that Vince Carter coming in here, you watch a team that specifically does not have Tyler Hero. You watch a team that has a beat-up Bam Adebayo, that lost Victor Oladipo, and then Jimmy Butler takes it to the next level. Can he carry this team to the finals?
He's definitely capable. You're seeing it, and it just depends on how you defend this team. I mean, I felt like Han said, this is a great defensive team in the Milwaukee Bucks, and they didn't really make adjustments. My adjustment, in my opinion, would have been, if we're going to lose this series, we're going to lose this series on the back of somebody else from the Miami Heat, not Jimmy Butler. He's going to have to force shots and make tough shots against double teams to beat us. But yet they had guys like Gabe Vincent step up and hit big shots. Bam showed up and had a great night. Even Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love gave you something. So yes, I mean, Jimmy Butler can't have his while other guys getting theirs as well. So they're very capable because they have some championship pedigree on their team.
And Max Strus keeps on making money. Every single playoff game, he keeps on making money.
Yeah, hate him for it.
Eric Spoelstra's done a
And Jimmy Butler. So, I mean, 4 years ago, they get to the NBA Finals, right? He goes against LeBron. LeBron gets the edge, but they get there. Masterful performance. The next year, they get swept.
By the eventual champs.
By the eventual champs, the Milwaukee Bucks. The next year, they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler puts a team on his back again. And this year, redeem story against a team that swept them 2 years ago. They beat the number 1 seed, and Jimmy goes for 56, and then last night goes for 42. And you call it a push-off. You call whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Catches the ball with offensive foul. I don't give a damn.
it wasn't.
Catches the ball with one hand, gets it in.
Yeah, crazy.
To send the game into overtime.
Wasn't
I've
a
never seen a
push-off.
player over the past 4 years have better playoff performances than Jimmy Butler.
Wasn't
Number
a
one.
push-off at all. You know why? Because they didn't call it.
Yeah, it was a
Therefore-
100% offensive foul. But
So
okay.
therefore,
Yeah.
it wasn't because
It
it
was
was
an
good
incredible
and it
play.
went in.
Yeah.
You can argue it all day long. If you're a Bucks fan, you can scream and holler. If you're just an NBA fan, the bottom line is they didn't call it, and Jimmy Butler gets the credit for it. As Jay said, 42 points, 8 boards. It just look at some of the stuff that he's been able to do. All we've heard is they don't have the roster. Where's Hero at? He's not there. Out of the bayou has to show up, as Perk would say, and do his job
Out of
because
the
Jimmy
bayou.
Butler
Out of
needs
the bayou.
help. And so, obviously, Jimmy Butler didn't need the help. He went out there and executed the way he knows how. He got his team to victory in overtime. And what else can you say? Now they just move on. Now it's the next round.
Kevin Love made some shot. Gabe Vincent made a huge 3.
Yeah.
Huge 3. Like
late,
Wesley Matthews, please push up. Please don't backpedal. Can I get into something else, please?
Yeah, by the way, they weren't pressing at all.
But everybody, though, Jay,
Key-
backpedals.
Key. I'm going to say this, too. I'm coming in hot today. I'm swinging so hard on a multitude of levels. When the Bucks won a championship, I was so critical on our show and Get Up of Coach Budenholzer and the schemes. I thought the schemes were crap. And I thought they won in spite of Coach Bud. And then that led to, well, you can't fire a coach. We had a conversation. Can you remember? I was like, can you actually fire the coach after you win a world championship?
Yeah.
No.
What I've seen throughout these playoffs have just been so bad. The arrogance or the cockiness. We're still in drop coverage. You're still in drop coverage, and Jimmy Butler, after he gives you 56, you're putting Brook Lopez on Bam in the last 3 minutes of the game where Bam is just dribbling the ball at the top, passing the ball to everybody. You're not even putting pressure on him. You're not going small, putting Giannis on Bam. The last play in regulation, you're not putting Giannis. Giannis was on the ball. Regardless of them going small, you protect the rim. You're not playing 2 bigs in that situation and have Brook Lopez in the game and say, hey, look, regardless of who switches, switch everything, stay your butt down at the bottom and protect the rim. Don't give anything easy, right? Like you take a contested 3, you protect the rim. The decisions that Coach Budenholzer has made are fireable offenses. They were when they won the championship team, and they are now.
He's saving his timeout.
Even the last possession, you have 2 timeouts.
It's unreal.
Grayson Allen looks like he doesn't know what the hell he's going to call a timeout. The play looks busted. Call a timeout.
No, you don't want to call a timeout. He's using them for next year. He's saving them.
Yeah, he's saving them.
I'm
now
so-
he's
I'm
got
so
2
angry at
extra
it.
timeouts.
I'm so angry at it. I mean, it's just, it's fireable offenses, Key.
Yeah,
and
but
I don't say that stuff lightly. I don't call for people's jobs lightly at all.
You mentioned a championship and firing a coach, even though he won a championship, and you felt a certain way about the things that he was doing then, and you feel the same way about what he's doing now. Coaches